On January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, Martin Luther King Jr. was born. He was originally named Michael. Throughout his childhood and teen years, Martin Luther King attended segregated public schools in the state of Georgia until he was 15. At a very young age, 15 in fact, Martin Luther King graduated Booker T. Washington High School to attend Morehouse College. After finishing his studies at Morehouse College, he received his bachelor's degree and finished his studies at Boston University, where he received a doctorate in 1953. While at Boston University, Martin Luther King met his future wife, Coretta Scott, which they later had 2 sons and 2 daughters. Starting in the late 1950s, Martin Luther King led a series of boycotts and sit-ins lasting 382 days, becoming the leader of the first nonviolent movement. During the boycotts, King was subject to personal abuse and arrested many times. His house was even blown up. But at the same time, he emerged as a Negro leader of high status. In 1957, this high status led Martin Luther King Jr. to be elected for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference president, formed to provide new leadership for civil rights. Between 1957 and 1968, King traveled 6 million plus miles, spoke over 2,500 times, wrote 5 books as well as numerous articles. As the leader of these protests, King was targeted. He was arrested and sent to jail over 20 times. While in jail, he had a lot of time to think, so he wrote this letter. It was called A Letter from Birmingham Jail. So, over the next couple of years, he directed peaceful marches of over 250,000 people to whom he gave a famous I Have a Dream speech.
So even though we face difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream.
Martin Luther King did have a dream, and the world noticed it. In 1963, he was named Time Magazine's Man of the Year. In 1964, with along many other awards throughout his career, Martin Luther King received the Nobel Peace Prize at the age of 35, the youngest man ever to receive it. On April 4th, 1968, James Earl Ray took aim and shot and killed Martin Luther King in a motel in Tennessee. Although this event is tragic, his final speech was not.
Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around.